Hi, my name is Jason Willaford. I'm here to talk to you about my upcoming show, Taking Liberties, that will be at Gallery Urbane. Taking Liberties, as how it relates to art and nature, is based on the first book of the Old Testament, Genesis, where God created everything, and when he was done, he said that man would oversee all things flying, swimming, and cattle. Not sure God used the word cattle, but we are in Texas, so maybe he did. I was interested in this excerpt because I've always noticed in photographs throughout history how people catch fish and they hold them up, or they kill animals and hold them up. There's this power, this dominance over nature, that everything in nature is put here for us, for our disposal. And I always thought that was interesting, that, or self-serving, that we would think that this is all for us, and write a book that declared as such. But there's a similarity in that I noticed throughout life, that my father and men and people that would take me fishing or hunting, I would always notice, especially my dad, when he would catch something, they would put their hand next to it to measure it, or their foot next to it. I mean, and I innately do the same thing. My foot's 12 inches long. I put my foot next to something to kind of show scale. But when you're holding something up, it's this dominance, this power over nature, that, and it kind of goes back to man versus man, man versus himself, man versus nature, all these things that we're always trying to measure up. One of the rules I made up for myself was that I was going to do a painting a day, and I was going to paint on a stretched piece of canvas on the wall, border to border, in a really tightly cropped fashion. And so that when I stretched the piece, it would be even more cropped. And part of the symbolism of this was not telling the whole story, to leave a little bit of mystery about what was happening in this work. I'm really infatuated with honest work, and that's kind of, with the advent of AI, which is on the forefront of all our cranial matter right now, is that, this beyond photorealism, everything just seems so fake. We're completely taking the human out of the equation. So I'm entranced by work now that is sloppy. You can see the hand of the person, you can see the mistakes, you can see the gesturalness, the thick paint. I want to see honest work. I want to see the human in the work. And I understand that artwork, it's 50% the artist and 50% the viewer, whereas the artist produces the work and hangs it on the wall, and then the way the viewer perceives or it responds to the work is the other 50%. But I think something is being lost when you're inviting all of your followers in the whole world to sit on your shoulder in your studio with you. I just don't feel like you can honestly create something that's true to you with these mass hordes in your studio judging you constantly. So that was the big reason for not showing the work. And it was an experiment to see how people would respond, and without ever seeing the work. I'm also interested to see who's going to come to this show, if people, will come to this show. I'm not sure if the attendance at galleries and museums and functions throughout life has dropped off because people can't differentiate between whether they've experienced something virtually or actually, because they're constantly looking at their phones and seeing those things day to day. So that was a big reason for not, or the main reason for not revealing the work prior to the show.